Results are coming in this morning from primary elections in 5 states. In Arizona, gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake is declaring victory, but the race is still too close to call. In Missouri, an expected tight race turned into a blowout, with State Attorney General Eric Schmitt winning the Republican nomination for Senate. And in Michigan, Republican Congressman Peter Meijer, who voted to impeach President Trump over the January 6th Capitol attack, lost to a challenger backed by the former president. ABC's Zohreen Shah joins me live now for more. Zohreen, Kari Lake is declaring victory in Arizona. How close is that rate? What's the status of it right now?
It is close, Diane. In fact, it's too close to call. Look, 80% of the vote is in, and Kari Lake, she is leading, but just by 2 points. And that, in fact, flipped just a few hours ago. So people in Arizona this morning, they are waking up. They are biting their nails. Lake, as you mentioned, she already declared victory. She's, of course, the former local news anchor. She calls herself Ultra MAGA, and she's backed by Donald Trump. And one thing she did last night, she brought out a sledgehammer. She says it was for e-voting machines, even though there is no evidence that they have an impact, that the e-voting machines have a negative impact on tallying ballots. But she is determined to. She is a very open election denier. And the Pence-backed Karen Taylor Robson, who is a more traditional Republican, she is making a case. She is making a point to say that this election is not over. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens in Arizona.
And Zohreen, ABC News can now project Mark Finchem will win the Republican nomination for Arizona's Secretary of State. He has echoed false claims that the 2020 election was stolen. Now he could end up being the person overseeing elections in the state.
Yeah, and you know what? Some people might say that democracy could be at stake in Arizona with that potential win in November if he does go on to win. The will of the people there, right? I mean, he is an election denier. He is expected to win this Republican primary, and it's raising a lot of eyebrows if, in fact, he goes on to win in November. We're talking about Mark Finchem. He's a member of the Arizona House. He beat Doug Ducey's pick. He's a lawmaker who signed a resolution asking for Congress to accept an alternate slate of votes back in January 6th when he was in D.C. And so, you know, I was in Arizona this last election in 2020, Diane. I mean, look, the Stop the Steal movement is very strong there, even though there is no evidence of any election fraud there. But this is a really key state. Biden just eked out a vote there, barely eked out a vote by just about 10,000 votes. So a lot of eyes are on Arizona for multiple reasons.
And another congressman who voted to impeach former President Trump has been unseated by a primary challenger now. How significant is that loss, and how much of it is due to that vote to impeach President Trump versus other issues?
Yeah, and those other issues are Democrats, right? I mean, Democrats tried really hard to run against his opponent. They funded Peter Meijer's opponent, John Gibbs. He's an election denier. He was backed by Donald Trump. And he won. And Meijer is one, as you mentioned, one of the 3 Republicans in the House out of 10 Republicans who faced an uphill climb last night. And he's saying, look, Democrats spent more on my opponent's race than my opponent spent on his own race. And he's essentially saying, look, I did the right thing. I claimed, victory for Biden when Biden won the race, that went towards him. And now I'm getting punished, right? So, Democrats hope that this is going to be an easier race for them, but they're taking a massive gamble. And we're not really sure what the temperature or mood in the country is going to be like come November for them.
All right. And 2 prominent progressive congresswomen, Cori Bush and Missouri, and Rashida Tlaib of Michigan, they were able to fend off primary challengers. So what does that say about the direction of the Democratic Party?
Yeah, the Democratic Party, but they're also progressives, right? But not just progressives. They are 2 people who broke with their party last year. They're 2 of the 6 Democrats who voted no on Joe Biden's infrastructure bill. They are to the far left, and it just means that in their district is still open to the far left versus a moderate candidate. But nearby Rashida Tlaib's district, there was a moderate candidate who won over progressive. Rep. Haley Stevens won over Andy Levin. So, there's not enough that we can say more broadly about, the wins last night, but certainly in their districts, it means that those voters wanted to keep those more progressive candidates. Diane.
All right, Zohreen Shah for us in D.C. Thanks, Zohreen.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.